You could see their leadership today. I thought it showed a lot when the one guy went down, Manti, another senior coming out and picking him up. You can tell they're a very tight team. We had a shot. You know, the game was close most of the game. We weren't able to finish a couple of drives that were very telling. You know, by only getting the field goal in the second to last drive down there, and then the last one getting no points. You know, you're not going to beat the #1 team in the country like that. And so obviously there's a difference of 11 points right there, only getting 3 instead of 14. I thought the first half, we couldn't get off the field on third downs was the big part of the first half. And then in the second half, I thought we didn't move the ball very well, especially in the third quarter on offense. But you got to make the plays in those situations. They're the #1 goal line defense, I think, in the country 2 years in a row for a reason. They have a good scheme. They have great players down there, especially inside. You watch the goal line cut-ups all year long. They did that to everybody. You know, stopping guys from Stanford to everybody they played down there. So unfortunately, our plan didn't work. You know, our plan was throw the ball outside in the boundary corner to Marquise. We got a couple pass interferences there, which reset the drives, and then we weren't able to get it in, and then weren't able to convert on the last flat route there to the fullback. So I think that's really the story of the game. Very difficult, obviously. Very difficult for everyone in our locker room. You know, with so many things not going well this season, and I was hoping today we could finish different with the backup quarterback and be part of history. You know, knocking them off and knocking them out of the national championship game and finishing on a strong note for these few seniors that we have.
What was the process behind going for the touchdown at the end of the game instead of kicking the field goal?
Yeah, it's so hard to score touchdowns versus them, and the ball's on the 2-inch yard line. You'd think that you could score touchdowns there. So, if the ball's on the 5, you kick the field goal on the 4th down and go try to get the onside. But you know, you'd like to think that with that many snaps in there, you could score a touchdown down there. The right side of our line moved. I don't know if it was, Max with the new quarterback with cadence or something. I don't know what happened. Obviously, that sent us back, but we made that up, with the pass interference calls. We put the ball right back down there, and we weren't able to convert. I thought Max did really well for the situation. I thought that, to your first start on a national stage game versus what some people would call the best defense in the country. Statistically, I think they'd given up maybe 7 touchdowns the entire, or 9 touchdowns or something the entire season, which is unheard of. I thought he did a good job handling himself.
Can you talk about the game plan in respect to having Max in?
Well, I thought we ran a little more early. Just an unusual, number of plays. 48 plays in a game. I don't recall ever having that, and so the numbers aren't there because it's so few. But 22 pass attempts, he throws for 177. That's okay. And then the backs at 6.5 yards and over 4 yards of carry between the two of them. That's pretty good production. But if you go 1 for 8, I think we were 1 for 8 on 3rd and 4th downs combined, there goes your play counts, and so it gets out of whack.
We know how that game went. We know how, once again, everybody coming together, finding a way to win. Offense,
miscommunication
defense,
there.
special teams, everybody pitching in.
No, I think a couple things happened. I think one, they played well in the secondary like they do against everybody. So give them some credit. And 2, we get a couple pass interferences that don't go in stats. I always think that when you get those pass interferences, those are explosive plays, they're 15-yard plays, and they don't go in the stats, so it kind of doesn't show up. Especially when you look at player stats for Marquise. I think they had 4 or 5 pass interferences on him alone today. So I just think it was them playing really well, and like they did.